So, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, and assembled company, welcome to the World Storytelling Cafe. And it's a new year. Happy New Year. It's 19, no, it's not 19, it's 2000 and something, 2026. And I know this because we've got no Marrakesh Festival this year. So it can't be 2027 yet. So I'm excited actually to be here. It was a bit of an accident. Well, not an accident, but it was like I scheduled myself in this morning and hastily put things up on Facebook and on the schedule. So if there's more than two people, there's King Louis, obviously, and there's Lucy and there's Babasi. So what am I going to do? Better do some stories. I think I'll do a poem, maybe a poem. I spent a lot of time around my sons and my grandsons this holiday, and they're sports fanatics. They live and breathe football. Lucy would understand being in a house where people live and breathe football. And I was never very good at football when I was at school, or soccer, as Babasi would call it. They over that side they call football. It's funny. How can a ball have points on both ends? I don't know. But a ball is a round thing. Mind you, we have rugby.
Yeah.
So what happens when, and this is for everyone not good at sports, because what tends to happen is that when they pick sides, you're the last one to be picked, and then they put you in goal because they think you can't do any harm there, except let the balls in. And of course, most of the time, no one's kicking balls at you. Most of the time, the ball's up the field. But when they, and there's the people that are good at football. They're running round. They've got the ball. They pass it. It's passed back to them. They're almost at the goal. They shoot and they miss. It just hits the crossbar and bounces off and goes, hard luck, nice try, better luck next time. But if you're in goal, you spend most of your time watching other people have fun, freezing to death. And then it's your moment. There's 20 people running down the pitch towards you, and they're nearly there, and they shoot, and you dive towards the ball, taking skin off your kneecaps. Your fingers just touch the ball, but they bend back and it goes into the back of the net. Does anyone go, hard luck, nice try, better luck next time? They go, idiot, fool, what you let that one in for? Well, I love a game of football, but what does make me sick is when the sides are chosen, I'm the last one that they pick. They never do give me a chance to demonstrate my skill, because when everybody's running around, they give me a goal to fill. And that's not my position. I should be on the wing, but I know it won't do any good if I say anything. So I think about the tackles and the goals I could have scored as I watch the others miss them, as I get cold and bored. But I'm not allowed mistakes. There's never any doubt. It doesn't matter what I save. It's what I miss they talk about. And that's for all those people going back to school on Monday and having to face games or sports or any of that. Apparently it's very good for you. I'm yet to be convinced. It fights obesity and such. This is for all those who've had new brothers and sisters in the last few months. Babies are ridiculous, aren't they? I mean, they can't do anything wrong. They make adults into complete idiots. What else can get an adult putting its head in the pram or the cot going, coochie, coochie, coo? And then they have to walk. Then they have to talk first. It's because well, first word they say is dada, dada. Actually, that's really good. All us dads feel really good about that. It said dada. They're running around. They're ringing him up. Mabel in Australia. It said dada. Or it has to walk. We all know it's bad to hold babies up by their hands, pulls their arms out of their sockets, but we all do it. And all right, walk, all right, just let go and I'll do it. It took 3 steps by itself without falling smack on its face. They're ringing up, it walks and talks for the rest of its life. Poor little thing is told to sit down and shut up. So this is my little brother. My little brother. I mean, babies just eat everything, don't they? There's one of Babassy's shoes. I'll chomp on that. There's a Louis' notebook. I'll eat that. And my little brother, right little Herbert, nearly choked himself on sherbet. My little brother, ever so sweet, but you should see the things he eats. Lumps of coal, bits of soap, plastic bricks and ends of rope, dirt and grass and sticks and stones. Even tried an old dog's bone. My little brother will eat anything at all, but will he eat mushy peas when he gets to school? And that's when they grow a bit, but this is when they're still in their prams. It's called the Pong machine. It may look sweet in blues and pinks, but that baby in the playpen stinks. And changing several times a day will not make that smell go away. The more it pongs, the more it smiles. Babies can be really vile. They stick their fingers in their food, and even when they're being rude, those grown-ups never seem to mind. But what gets me is what's left behind. It seems to come from either end. And all the while, adults pretend that this machine that makes the pong so perfect, it can do no wrong. And if you're doing children's poetry, you have to do. If you're doing poetry at all, you have to write a poem about writing poems, and we've all done it. So this is my children's poem about writing poems. It's called Dress Sense. It's not the easiest thing in the world, dressing a poem. Take this morning's, for instance. I went to the chest of drawers expecting to find a sparkling set of words, and just because I was in a hurry, I found they were all in the wash. Don't people understand you can't wear one emotion all week? Me? I need words to make me jump and shout, spin round, laugh, and even cry a little. I need words I can roll round my mouth and chew on for hours, rude words that refuse to be ignored, words that hit me in the chest like a boxer's fist. I need words that please my eyes, and words I can choose for their cheek, gentle words with secrets I'd be pleased to keep, words that spill out on the page so fast I can hardly keep up, and words that take it slow and easy, telling me to be patient and relaxed. It's true, there are easier things to do in this world than dressing a poem, but even on the worst of days, you can usually find enough words hidden in the nooks and crannies of your bedroom to make a verse respectable enough to walk down the street with. And we'll stay on words. Words for the story. Words for the play. Words for the night and words for the day. Words for the letter and words for the rhyme. Words rolling round the tongue time after time. Words from the ocean, words from the sea, words from the lakeside, words from the free, words from the centre and words from the edge, words from the traveller and words from the hedge, words from the wagon and words from the tent, words from the rich man when his money's all spent, words in the papers, words in the book, words in the kitchen, everywhere you look, words in the leaflet, words in the post, words through the stick of rock that sell on the coast, words on the notice, words on the wall, words on the tongues of the teachers at school, words on the bottle and words on the jar, words on the bus and words on the car, words on the lorry and words on the train, words on the bicycle, words on the plane, words on the fishing boat, words on the ship, words on the t-shirt, words on the strip, words on the war, words on the pitch and words on the crease, words on the war and words on the peace, words on the subject, words on the news, words on the crime and words on the clues. Words that send a shiver. Words that send a shout. Words that send a message that everybody's out. Words that send some happiness. Words that send some hope. Words that send the very thing you need for you to cope. Words that make you angry. Words that make you mad. Words that make you good. And words that make you bad. Words that make you hot. And words that make you cool. Words that make your best friend act like a fool. Words you need to sign, words you need to write, words you need to speak that need to be polite, words you need to process, words you need to read, words you need to check them, words you need to lead, words you need to follow, walk side by side, words you need to run them, words you need to ride, words in the silence, words in your head, words you're hiding that need to be said. I think that's it. I'm going to stay with this book for a minute. I forget this is the other thing I do, you see. I've just applied for a writing residency and a poetry residency. It's only a 6-session thing. It's in care centres for old people. It might be kind of interesting doing reminiscence work and poetry, but I thought I'd just go back to my children's poems for a while, like when it's wet. There's things that I can't do when it's wet. I get soaked through and through when it's wet. I leave puddles in the hall so I can't go out at all. It's worse than being at school when it's wet. I have to stay indoors when it's wet. And I get awfully bored when it's wet. Painting pictures is okay, but not for all the day, and they're no good anyway when it's wet. My coat hangs on the door when it's wet. Damp from the day before when it's wet. And there's hamsters to be fed and the rabbits in the shed. I feel like staying in bed when it's wet. I can do things that I like, now it's dry. I can go out on my bike, now it's dry. Take my skateboard to the park, play football, or for a lark, I'll stay out till it's dark. Now it's dry. And this is I think this is not Norman, he's here. That's the Canadian guy sitting in the square. Now, hello, Norman. How are you? Happy New Year, Norman. And the Spinner. Happy New Year to Spinner.
And Happy New Year.
This is Mike Fashion's favourite poem, I think. He likes me to do this. It's called Monster.
Happy New Year, friend.
Hey.
Tell the people Happy New Year, Bertha. Happy New Year.
Are you getting snow in Greece?
Not here. We're at the capital now, but we're going north today, so hopefully we will.
Yeah. In Romania, apparently it's very thick at the moment. Or up around my house in Transylvania, if I was there, I'd have to dig my way out of it. But I think I'll go east. I'll go to Singapore or somewhere in a couple of weeks, somewhere warm. It's called Monster Hunt. I've done this an awful lot before on the show.
Bless you.
Me and my
Happy New
friend
Year.
Joey just thought, just for a change, that we go monster hunting on the monstrous mountain range. Joey said we'll need supplies, that's what I think, so we packed some peanut butter sandwiches and cans of fizzy drink. Joey had a BMX and I had a mountain bike. We went as far as we could on those, and then we had to hike. We'd not gone far up the mountain when Joey called, "Look over there. It's a barbless rageless monster, the one that's all covered in hair." We went a few steps closer. The monster let out a roar. "You can't scare us," said Joey. "That stuff doesn't work anymore." Then the enormous hairy monster with the enormous hairy head called us over to a rock, and this is what she said: "If you've come monster hunting, then I'll put up a fight. I'll gnash my teeth and throw some stones and roar with all my might. But I suspect that's not your wish. You only want to know if monsters really do exist and how tall do they grow, and are there many different sorts, and where do they all live? But there's answers to your questions that I'm prepared to give, providing that you promise me you come with good intentions. After all, we've been around for quite some time without your intervention." "No problem," answers Joey. "That is understood. Now, why don't you tell all your friends we're really very good and we don't want to upset them or ruin their routine? But having come all this way from monstrous display, you're the only one we've seen." Now, the barbless, rageless monster put a finger each side of its teeth and let out one ear-piercing whistle that made the ground tremble beneath me and my friend Joey so much that even she looked perturbed. Then from each side of the mountain came the loudest noise we had ever heard, and it came with a rumble and tumble, and it came with a squelch and a crunch, and it came with a huffing and puffing, and it came with a gobble and munch, and some of them had 6 heads, and some of them only had 2, and some of them were purple, and some were pink and blue, and some had hair on the palm of their hands, and one had hair on its nose, and one was as bald as the day it was born, and one of them seemed to glow. And when they came up to the rock of the hairiest of them all, they were more than a little curious as to why on earth she called so many of the mountains and monsters in the middle of the working day, and what could be the kind of game she'd invite them all to play. "I won't keep you long," she whispered, "but I've a sight that's really worth seeing. You might not have seen them around these parts before, but this is a human being. And here is another, though they're not fully grown. I think they're wondrously strange, and by far the most curious creature to be found on this mountain range." Then Joey pulled out her sandwiches and offered them around. Without any fuss, the monsters and I sat down upon the ground, and we had to agree as we munched at our lunch. Although mountains have their attractions, we'd best cycle home, leaving monsters alone, trying to work out our human reactions. And I think I'm going to do another. I know, I'll do another short one. Now I'm going to do another sort of narrative one. Ghost story. I wrote this. I thought a book of children's poems doesn't need to have a ghost story in. And I was driving down to a school in. Actually, it was on an American Air Base, RF Woodbridge, when it was when it existed, and so it shows how long ago, back in Cold War days. And and I had this idea. I was driving, and I had the idea for the poem. And you know, it's difficult to drive a van and write simultaneously. Although I have done it, I don't recommend it. You've got to be on a really empty road to make it work. So I pulled up in a lay-by and found the back of an envelope and a felt tip and wrote the first verse down. And it was about a ghost, and I wanted the ghost to get into trouble. So I did. I read the first verse to the children I was working with and asked them for ideas. And I rejected all the ideas. But the thing, and this is, if you're writing, this is worth thinking about, and anyone else young out there, or young or old. It's never a waste of time throwing out other people's ideas, because what that does, it leaves a space for your ideas to come in. And so I did it from there. And so this is what the result was. He seemed a very average ghost, the kind you see straight through, created for a video, too perfect to be true. His hair was long, his boots were tall, the buckle shone on his belt. His jacket was made from satin, and his plumed hat pressed from felt. His spurs and sword they clattered as he marched across the street, but all he got was insults from the people that they'd meet. Get out of the way, you fool, they said, and where did you get that hat? And why don't you get your hair cut? And just look at the state of that. They didn't like his manner. They didn't like his dress. Whatever he did, like walking through walls, failed totally to impress anyone at all except Rosie, who played all down her Todd on her own, who gazed at the road from a window for hours, who everyone else thought was odd. Amazing, she thought when she saw him, but isn't it really so sad how those people out there treat that poor man like that? I do think they're ever so bad. So she ran down the stairs in an instant, and she ran right into the night, and she searched for the crowds on the pavement that had never seen such an odd sight. On the one hand, the ghost getting jostled. On the other, Rosie in tears, pushing past giants in her nightclothes, and her being only 10 years. She pushed past the ones who were laughing. She pushed past the ones who looked mean. She pushed her way through till she stood at the last place the ghost had been seen. And then she thought that she glimpsed him inside the old shipyard wall that hadn't been used in a lifetime, that was crumbling and not safe at all. She ran across girders and stairways, and she leapt over chains, bricks and poles, and the crowd on the pavement that watched her. She sent a shiver through each of their souls. The loud mouths were no longer laughing. They no longer swaggered and swore as the building was collapsing around her, and she fell from the shed's second floor. Below her was metal and rubble and a reinforced concrete post, and the crowd all thought she'd had it. But Rosie remembered the ghost, and the ghost knew all about Rosie, how she didn't have one real friend. And the person to blame for her falling was really himself in the end. So he ran through the park. He ran through the piles of paving, and he ran through the last standing wall. And he stood with his arms stretching outwards, exactly where Rosie would fall. And he caught her like she was a feather, and he set her gently down. Now everyone wants to know Rosie, and the ghost is the toast of the town. Now, this is for people at school and adults. Still happens to adults, it's just less when it's adults. Everyone, whatever you've got, someone's always got something better. You come in and say, look what my mum bought me today. Brand new watch. I say, so what? My mum bought me Big Ben. Or I've got this little got this new dinky toy, little toy car. It's great. It's a new model. Oh, so what? Mum bought me a Rolls Royce and got a chauffeur to drive it. This is called I Bet. I'm not sure if this is about showing off or gerbils, one or two. I bet your gerbil isn't as clever as my gerbil. My gerbil walks backwards. That's nothing. Mine walks backwards and sideways. Yeah, but mine walks backwards, sideways, and lays its back with its legs sticking up. So what? Mine does all that and it talks. You think that's clever? Mine can count up to 1,000. My gerbil's got the biggest stamp collection in the world. My gerbil drives a bus. My gerbil's an astronaut. My gerbil can eat 25 baked potatoes and still not be sick. My gerbil paints pictures of the moon. It says it's been there, but I'm not so sure. Sometimes I think gerbils tell lies. Oh dear. And the other thing when you get to school, you get a whole new vocabulary. And before you get to school, you know useful things like I'm hungry, or I want, or that's nice. Then you get this whole new vocabulary. Projects, topics. What on earth's a project? I think a project is when you do things more than one day. And then you have the what you did stuck up on the wall. I think that's what a project is. But this is I'm just thinking of a 5-year-old when they first get to school. and they hear this word for the first time. Miss Babasi, in the States, what do you say when you want to speak to a woman teacher? Do you go mom or miss?
You go Miss, Ms., or Mrs., depending on their status.
Oh, everyone's miss here. It's
Well, no, there's some.
Miss.
Yes.
What's the project? Can you hang it on the wall? Can you take it home and eat it? Miss, can we do it in assembly? Miss, my sister did a project once and she had to bring lots of empty washing up liquid bottles and yogurt cartons. Miss, what shall we bring? Can I bring my pet hamster? Miss, my auntie drives a big lorry. Can I do my project on that? Miss, Lorraine says, her mum says, her doctor says she's not allowed to do projects. Miss, is it true? Projects give you spots. And we'll carry on with the pet theme. My goldfish lives in a bowl. It sleeps at the bottom, it eats at the top. My goldfish leads a regular sort of life. My goldfish's bowl is round and magnifies the size of things inside and behind. My goldfish looks as big as its bowl, and my fingers, when they reach for the fish food at the back, look like tree trunks. My goldfish needs feeding once a day, and when I forget, it hangs with its mouth to the surface of the water to remind me. My goldfish makes its water very, very dirty. When I change the water, I pour the old stuff into a plastic wash bowl and fill the clean one with clean stuff from the tap in the kitchen. I catch my goldfish in a yogurt carton and put it back in the clear water. In the yogurt carton that does not magnify at all, I can see my goldfish is very, very small. And I think this might be the last poem. I've got a few more, but then I'll do a story. No, well, second to last poem. This is a short one. It's called Legs 11. Once I had a spider, I called it Legs 11, but when I counted them again, all there were was 7. It's a bit Spike Milligan-ish, isn't it? Right. This is bicycles. I'm looking for another bicycle. I'm looking for one without bent rims, without brakes that stick and things like the chain flying free and me slipping straight from the pedals to the tarmac. I'm looking for a bike with 21 gears and a computerized speedo, suspension forks and cross-country tires, an aluminium frame. I want it to gleam. I want to be seen to be moving, and I don't want to hear the grind of worn bearings. And I don't want to feel the wheels warp as I hurtle down the hill at 25 miles an hour. I want this every morning as I take out my war machine and pump up the tires once more, kick the back wheel straight before I pedal slowly into town, a whole half a mile away. And I think I better do a story, because it's a storytelling side, not poetry side. I just fancied a little self-indulgence.
Poems are stories.
Pardon?
Poems are stories.
Oh, well, that's what the words poem is about. It doesn't matter whether it's words, whether poem, stories, or whatever. It's just words. And
I must say, you're in rare form today. I always enjoy you, but right now I am extra enjoying you.
well, let me read
That's a
this
compliment.
for you. Okay. I'll see if I can find a. I'll do a short story. I think I'll do a story from India. It's called "Cut Me Down to Size." And then I might do another poem, because I've never done a set of children's poetries on here. So let me just look for
So while you're looking, I have a question. Is cutting something down to size a sizable endeavor?
Well, thank you for that. Right. Documents. Oh yeah. This is another one for about animals. I got into a whole animal bit of writing for children, and children who want to pretend to be animals, and I love it watching. I love watching children play. I want to be a wallaby bouncing free excitedly. I want to be a wallaby with a pouch in front of me. I want to be a wallaby eating leaves off of the tree. I want to be a wallaby. Nothing else will do for me. I want to be a wallaby or a dolphin in the sea, maybe. Is there a short little dickies that is? Right, where are we? Where are we? These I should have things more. Never mind. Oh, do cut me down to size. This is way back in time when my hair was dark and my beard was ginger, all my teeth were my own, and rivers were deeper, forests were thicker, and mountains were taller, and all the animals could talk to each other, and chickens still had teeth, and there was a merchant going down the road. He was leading an ox. On the back of the ox was a huge sack of peas, and the ox was rocking from side to side. It was a rough road, and it wasn't a four-wheel drive ox, and the sack of peas fell off. The merchant was trying to pick it up, and it was just too heavy, so he looked around for some help, and he saw a mouse coming down the road. He said, "Excuse me, mouse, can you help me on the back of this ox with this sack of peas?" And the mouse said, mouse didn't think there was anything strange about a talking merchant, so between them they got the sack of peas on the back of the ox, and the merchant was so pleased to give the mouse one pea. And there was one falling out in the road, and the mouse took that, so he had two peas. And the mouse didn't trust the merchant in the first place, so he'd already taken one. So he had three peas. And he went home and he planted them in front of his hole. And he said, "Look, unless there's three fine green shoots by the morning, I'll cut you up and feed you to the ox." And be sure the next morning when he woke up, there were three fine green shoots. He said, "Look, unless there's three fine flowers by the morning, I'll cut you up and feed you to the ox." And you'd be sure the next morning when he woke up, there were three fine flowers. He said, "Look, unless there's three fine fat pods full of fat peas by the morning, I'll feed you to the ox." And you'd be sure the next morning when he woke up, there was three fine fat pods full of fat peas. And the mouse ate and he ate and he ate. And he got fatter and fatter and fatter. Now, if you had a bit of flab on you and you're a mouse, someone would think you're really good looking, and he's walking down the road, whacking his flab from one side, down the road came another mouse. You go, "Whoa, where'd you get that flab?" He said, "Come home and I'll show you." And they ate and they ate, and she ran down the hole, he ran down behind her, he got stuck halfway down. So he went to the carpenter. Carpenter's one of those words that I occasionally have to explain. You know, you're in a classroom and say, "And what's a carpenter?" And eventually someone will come up. Someone works with wood. And there's so many disappearing words. It's a great thing about traditional stories. It keeps those words back. It stops the vocabulary diminishing. That's a That's a myth. The vocabulary is expanding all the time because there's new stuff all the time. I don't want to be a curmudgeon. And goes to carpenter, cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. And comes to, do you mind? I haven't got time to deal with a mouse. I've got to make this new furniture for this cafe in Marrakesh. I'm going to go away. And so he went to the king and said, King, tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. He said, I've got a whole country to look after here. I haven't got time to deal with mouse. Go away. So when the queen said, Queen, leave king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. The queen said, oh, I'm not going to leave the king for the mouse. Do you mind? Go away. So went to the snake. Said, snake bite, queen won't leave, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. Snake said, look. And the only one in Britain at this moment will need to use their imagination. It's the first hot day for months. I want to lay here basking in the sun. Do you mind? Go away. Probably Norman sitting in the snow, aren't you, Norman? Yeah, I thought you would be. Well, he went to the stick. He went stick, beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. And the stick said, do you mind? I've spent all day beating a thief. I haven't got any energy left. Do you mind? Go away. So he went to the furnace. He said, furnace, burn, stick, won't beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. And the furnace said, you mind? I'm cooking the king's dinner here. I haven't got time to deal with a mouse. Go away. So he went to the ocean. He went ocean, put out furnace, won't burn, stick, won't beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. And the ocean said, do you mind? The fish are jumping, the tide's rising, the sun's in the sky. I haven't got time to deal with a mouse. Go away. So he went to the elephant. He went elephant, drink, ocean, won't put out furnace, won't burn, stick, won't beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my... And the elephant burped really loud. So look, I've just drunk a lake. I haven't got room for an ocean. Go away. So he went to the vine. He went vine, strangle elephant won't drink, ocean won't put out furnace, won't burn, stick, won't beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. The vine said, look, I'm stuck to this tree. I couldn't help you even if I wanted to. Go away. So he went to the scythe. That's a thing they used for cutting the grass before a fly motor invented. And it's like a big knife on a stick, which all the white-haired people on the site would know. But all the children refused to grow up, and just their bodies aged, but their minds didn't. And went to the side, so side, cut down vine, won't strangle elephant won't drink, ocean won't put up furnace, won't burn, stick, won't beat, snake won't bite, queen won't lead, king won't tell carpenter to cut me down the side so I can get down my hole. And fortunately for my breath and your patience, the scythe is always sharp. I said, okay. So you know exactly what happened. The scythe began to cut down the vine began to strangle the elephant began to drink the ocean began to put out the furnace began to burn the stick began to beat the snake began to bite the queen began to leave the king told the carpenter to cut the mouse down to size, and the mouse got down its hole. Right. Oh, that's a nice little mouse in that corner of Lucy's thing. Now, I wonder if I've got one more.
That was a nice mouse. I guess Lucy's not catting about.
No. Right. I'm just going to See if I've got one more poem to finish on, but I very much doubt. I got my documents, my downloads, and it's all stuff. It's all. I had them all in order so I could. No. I've got time for one more. Where did I put the poems? I put the poems under the computer. I used to know all these off by heart. As school starts on Monday for a lot of children, I thought I'd better do one about teachers. Finish on one on teachers. Sorry, Despina. This doesn't refer to you in any way. I'll keep my teacher creature. It's called teacher creature. I'll keep my teacher creature in a cupboard. I'll feed it every day. I'll give it lots of presents, and I'll take it out to play. It doesn't seem to know a lot, and what it knew is now forgot. Is it happy? No, it's not. It wants to run away. I'll keep my teacher in a cupboard. My teacher creature in a cupboard. I'm not sure that I should. I try to make it smile, but it doesn't do much good. It doesn't want to talk to me. I think I ought to let it be. Or better still, I'll set it free. Do you think I should? Right. And with that, I shall finish. And I can't tell you who's on next Friday because I felt miserably to put the schedule together for Fridays. I had it all to the end of the year, and right to the end of the year was the Babasee's Kwanzaa, and then I thought, then suddenly it was the new year, and I was caught. So I wished everyone a new year and asked who was ready, and I've got loads of people for. Sort of got the end of the month, and I've got a lot of February sorted out. But it will get ready. But I can tell you immediately what is happening. Tomorrow, Saturday, at 10 a.m. UK time, middle of the night Babasee time, it's our young international storyteller. So anyone who knows any young tellers who are up at that time, Norman, go and wake up whole Canada and send them in. It's an exercise in getting children up early and articulate. So that's tomorrow at 10 o'clock in AM, and Sunday at 6 p.m. all UK times. Is our worldwide story round hosted by none other than Mike Rust, which we can all be at. We can all tell a story or a poem or something. And then on Wednesday is Justine Meir with her Tales and Tunes. So we've got a pretty full program for this week. I just don't have anything for next Friday. I will have Despina. What are you doing? No, you've already told me you can't do anything till about the middle of next year or something. But well, Norman, what are you doing next Friday? You're muted.
I was hoping to tell stories on Friday.
This Friday coming.
That's right.
Oh, well, I tell you what, Norman, I'm just making note of that. It would appear you're telling. So next Friday. Well, whereas 2 minutes ago I hadn't the faintest idea who was going to be on. It's now Norman Perrin.
I
I'd already put you down for that.
Put me down for where?
Friday.
What's the date today? It's the 2nd.
It'll be the 9th. Today's the 2nd.
Just telling stories of dancing lions and other ways to start the new year.
Yeah, that'll do. Right.
Dancing lions. Is that lion dancing?
Another way to start the new year. Right, I'm just going to write that down. That gives me another week to actually get my life together. Marvellous.
It's a
Thank you very
special
much.
story created by a young woman who's named Sabura.
Yeah,
And
right.
Sabura and
You
the
will sail
Dancing
that when you
Lion.
get there.
I'm sorry?
You will sail that. All we'll do is Norman Perrin tells stories
Got it.
in the usual way. Waleed, if you're listening, put Norman down for next week. Okay, Louis, did you enjoy tonight? You muted. You muted. Oh, there we
It
go.
was incredible.
Thank you very much. That's made my head expand. As long as I've got the seal of approval from Louis, I don't care about anything else. But it's very nice. Those hearts from Despinel were lovely. Okay, see you all over the weekend on Zoom. Lovely. Bye bye, everyone. Thank you, Waleed,
Take
for
care,
flying
everybody.
the magic carpet. Thank you.
Happy New Year's, everybody. May 2026 bring you and yours all that you need,
Oh,
if
yes,
not
sir.
all that you want.
Thank you.
And Happy New Year for
Happy
everyone.
New Year to everyone.
Yes, and
Hi, December.
as I like to say about for every New Year, may there be blessings surprising and unknown on your path.
Yes.
Right.
Well, the unknown I particularly like.
We're going to get it.
Well, the unknown has been known to be unknown.
Right, fairly well. We'll let Wally get some sleep, close up the cafe, whatever he's doing.
All right, good
Hi,
people.
hello, Desmond.
And if anyone sees Zuhair, congratulate him on his marriage and his wedding.
Zuhair got married?
Yeah.
Whoa. All right.
Yeah, I got a message.
Waleed started something.
Yeah, it's Wally's fault. He just started all our people getting married. Right. See you then. Bye.
Bye, John. Hi, Desmond.
All right, everybody. Just been Norman, John, Cute, King Louis, and Waleed. Thank you for once again flying the magic carpet.
Bobby, look at my name.
I saw your name.
No,
I
there's,
just-
there's a new name. Have a look.
Yeah, I saw it. I just didn't want to say fake because there's nothing fake about you, Louis.
No, just have a look at my name.
I'm looking. King, Cute, Fake, Police Officer, Deputy Louis.
That's me. That's me.
Right. You know.
But Bobby said, don't tell my mom.
Okay, I won't.
Brilliant.
Yeah. All right, everybody. I got a dash. I
Oh,
just.
God.
I'll see Louis. You joining us tomorrow morning at
I
10
think
a.m.
I will. Yes, I will.
All right. I think I'm going to do it, but it'll be 5 a.m. on my side.
It will be.
Yes. So I need to go take my nap now. All right, Norm. You and I will talk later because I got a dash.
Right? And I've got a dot. Dash, dot, dash, dot.
Dash, dot. Yeah, I got that. That's
Oh,
what I
good.
get for saying I got a dash. All
That's
right, I'm
right.
out. See, out.